And we're rolling in the Hate That For Me studio. Didn't have time to actually set up a proper setup for this first episode. This is going to be very hack because it's just me. It's the Mo and Joe show, yo. But it's just Joe. Mo is traveling, so I'm going to do this one solo. But Mo did send me his picks. So every Monday night, we're going to watch Monday Night Football, which is on in the background. You might be able to see the reflection over here. Not sure. We're going to watch Monday Night Football. We're going to talk about the week that was and then make our picks for the following week. So he did send me his picks. I'm going to run through yesterday's games, maybe give some updates about this game, even though this will be out. We're going to try to put these out every Tuesday, so you'll obviously know what happened on Monday Night Football. I just turned it on, and apparently Rodgers already got hurt. They said ankle, potentially. So I'll keep you posted on that, even though you'll already know what happens. So the premise of this whole thing is, again, we're gonna talk about the week that was. I'm sweating. This is like way more jumbled than the Hate That For Me. I like rushed down here to do this. We're gonna talk about the week that was, make the picks. This was kind of like an idea that we came up with. Maurice used to do podcasting, Codex Prime. He was on. I think he started that with a couple other guys. So I was trying to get him back in the podcasting game. Plus, I want to do more of like the NFL stuff. I used to do my Redskin reviews. That just takes way too much time. So I figured this would be good. And also the banter. We'll talk about this when he's actually on. The banter, I think, would be good because Maurice is more of a stat guy. He knows all. He's one of those where whether it's baseball, football, basketball, he's a stat guy. I'm more of like I go on feeling versus like stats. So I think this will be interesting the way this unfolds. So let's look at last week. Thursday. Was it Thursday? It was Thursday. Okay. Detroit over Kansas City. That was surprising. In a way, I guess. Kansas City was out. With Kelsey was out, which I had him on fantasy. So, but I was a little surprised. I mean, Super Bowl champions at home, opening night, lose a close one. Although Detroit's a scary team because towards the end of last year, they got really scary. They got hot. So I guess Motor City Dan Campbell is legit. Atlanta over Carolina. I didn't see much from that game, if I'm being honest. How did Desmond Ridder do yesterday? Let me look into this. Sorry, I'm ill prepared for this. I'm sweating like crazy. Yeah, Bijan Robinson did good. I didn't get a lot out of that game. Desmond Ridder, 15 of 18, 115, one touchdown. Young had 20 of 38, 146, one touchdown, two picks. I mean, you can't really expect much out of a rookie quarterback, so I'm not really surprised that Atlanta won that game. Cleveland and Cincinnati. I mean, I read something, again, we're going off stats here, but I read something the other day that said that Burrow was 1-4, I think, going into that game against Cleveland, which was shocking to me because it's fucking Cleveland. And Cleveland, 24-3 mopped them. Watson had 154 yards. Chubb had 106 on the ground. Nothing crazy there, but also, I mean, Burrow got hurt. Probably didn't practice. Didn't play much in the preseason because he got hurt. Like, I don't think he actually played in the preseason at all because he got hurt. So, but again, shocking though. I mean, but they started slow last year. If I remember correctly, Cincinnati looked a little sus in the first few weeks and then obviously turned it around. I mean, division rival, opening game. Burrow hasn't gotten much reps, I guess, but 24-3. I don't know, it's week one. You can't really get that bent out of shape about it, but still, that was a surprising one. Normally I would have said like what the picks were, but we didn't do this last week, so we're doing the review and then we'll pick moving forward. Jacksonville over Indianapolis, not really shocked there. Apparently, it was a decent game, back and forth anyway, but not super surprised. Another division game. Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good. Now that they actually have like a coach versus like the Urban Meyer experience, which was a fucking train wreck, Jacksonville could be legit. Tampa Bay over Minnesota. Fucking Kirk. Let me tell you something. Everybody says about Kirk, Washington should have kept Kirk, blah, blah, blah. Listen, what Kirk does in Minnesota, Kirk would have been doing in Washington. And obviously it's better than what we've had, but I still don't think we would have gotten to where we actually want to go to with Kirk. That's my opinion. I guess the Baker show is on over there. I mean, he's got weapons over there. He should be able to do okay in Tampa. But Minnesota, to me, even last year, they went on that run to start the season. I think they're fake. I wasn't sold on them, and it showed at the end of the year. Next, Saints. I did catch the end of that game. Saints over Tennessee, 16-15. Derek Carr looked good. 305 yards. I don't know about Tennessee. I don't know where they're at. I know they got a few quarterbacks on the roster. I don't know if Tannehill was ever the answer. They had a good defense. I mean, they do have weapons too. I think they're pretenders too. Tennessee is like the Minnesota of the AFC, I think. San Francisco over Pittsburgh, 30-7. That was, I mean, again, Kenny Pickett's second year. San Francisco's legit, though. I don't understand it. They got like a horseshoe up their ass with quarterbacks. Like they have no shortage of quarterbacks ever. Like Washington can't find a fucking quarterback for the last 30 years, and San Francisco's got a problem with 3. Like, who do we start? And then they get rid of Trey. But 30-7, I know McCaffrey had that big run. Shocking, but whatever. It's fucking Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh fans they're gonna find something to bitch about in that too. I'm sure there was a fucking flag that got thrown that fucked them over. They lost by 23 though. Washington over Arizona, 20-16. I'll be honest, that was very sloppy. I was very happy to catch a W out of that one. We were the biggest favorite going into week 1, which is already fucking scary. I feel like we were getting jinxed. They were the biggest favorite. New owner. The stadium was packed. There was a lot of pressure on Washington to actually win a fucking game, and that usually doesn't bode well for us. Howell looked okay, made some mistakes, but again, this is his second start in the NFL, and I'm obviously fucking biased here, but he's also on his third system, okay? Because he came out of North Carolina. He had Scott Turner. He was on the bench last year. He started the last game of the season, and now he's under Eric Bieniemy. So this is his third offense. So we got to be patient with him anyway. But whatever, they get the win. I'm happy. Baltimore over Houston, 25-9. I mean, I don't think anybody was fucking surprised there. Although Houston's got a quarterback, young. We'll see how he does though. Anyway, I mean, rookie quarterback. But I feel like the sky's the limit for Houston. Like they got nothing. They were the worst fucking team. So for them, it's like, yeah, whatever. You have no expectations anyway. Green Bay over Chicago, 38-20. Jordan Love, the Jordan Love experience, kicking off with a win. So nothing's really changed because Green Bay beat Chicago, which they always seem to fucking do. That's gonna be interesting too. I mean, are you guys sold on Justin Fields? Second year, I guess you can't really. You got no like concrete evidence, but when do you expect to turn the corner? Right? Is it like year 3? You know, but again, it's week 1, division game. It's tough opening game, but they were at home. I mean, Jordan Love is, this is new for him, but not really. He's been in the offense. He's been with the team. So, I mean, he goes in there and fucking lights it up, and they spank Chicago like they usually do. I still have a hard time saying the Las Vegas Raiders. But anyway, the Raiders in Denver, 17-16. I don't know. That game could have went either way. Not sold on either of them, really. And I got to be careful because Washington's playing Denver next week. Jimmy throws for 200. Jacoby Myers had 81 yards. I think he had a couple touchdowns. Did I see that right? I guess a big win for them on the road, division opponent, week 1. I mean, it's nice to get a division win, especially early in the season. So, not bad. Philly, 25-20 over New England. They took a big lead early. They were up 16-0. It looked like New England was coming back a little bit. Mac Jones threw for 316. I think if they didn't go down by so much early, they probably would have had a better shot. Obviously, I was actually, like, the rare times I'm rooting for New England to win a fucking game would be against Philly, Dallas, the Giants, and, of course, when I rely on New England, they fucking lose. And again, they lose. They lose. The fucking Tommy Terrific was there yesterday too, and you fucking shat the bed. The one time I need you to win. Miami and the Chargers. See, that's another one. Los Angeles. I want to say San Diego so bad. That game was crazy. That game was so back. I think they said 7 lead changes in that game. Tua threw for 466 yards. Tyreek Hill had 215 yards. That was just a back-and-forth game. It was almost like it was coming down to the wire of, like, who was going to make the play at the end. And Miami stuck it out. But that was probably the game of the week, I would say. Excuse me. Another game I didn't see much of, if I'm being honest, the Rams in Seattle. Rams win 30-13. Stafford throws for 334. That's going to be interesting because I feel like this is their last run, the Rams. Like, this is going to be their shot to do something again. And if they don't, I think they're just going to blow it up. And then the blowout. Oh, there's Maurice right now. He just said Rodgers is hurt. He's right. I still haven't heard anything. That game is 3-3 right now. I haven't heard anything about Rodgers yet. Ankle, they were saying. The drubbing of the week was fucking Dallas, 40-0. Dak throws for 143. Pollard had 70 on the ground. CeeDee Lamb had 77. Those were the highs for the game. Their defense is fucking scary. It's not so much their offense. I was just talking about this earlier. Their defense is going to keep them competitive in a lot of fucking games, but it's really on Dak and how that offense moves. But Pollard's good. CeeDee Lamb's good. I mean, Dak is Dak. I think he's got the skill set. It's really just, but fucking Dak, you know what's going to happen with Dallas. They're going to choke out anyway. But for the Giants, again, division game at home, week 1, and you got blown out. That's setting a bad fucking precedent for the year. Like, it's one thing to get blown out. You get blown out at home against a division rival. Scary. So that was the week that was very brief. Sorry, I'm doing this solo on the fly. Next week, we'll actually have some more banter, and I'm sure Maurice will have more stats. See, again, I'm going off of, like, feel. There's some stats in here, but I go off of feel more. I think he goes off from stats more, which I don't know which one's fucking right. Let's jump to week 2, and I will run through Maurice's picks, who he's got for next week. So, week 2. Let's see if I have this right. Okay, so week 2, we have to actually keep track of this here. Week 2, he has the Bengals at home over the Ravens. He's got the Cowboys. Sorry, I'm trying to follow it on here too. Cowboys at home against the Jets. He's got the Colts over the Texans in Houston. He's got the Panthers over the Saints. Panthers at home. Interesting. That's a Monday night game. There's 2 Monday night games next week. And he's got Carolina at home over the Saints. Interesting. Okay. Um, the Cardinals over the Giants. Arizona at home. I mean, the Cardinals had low expectations going into the season. I mean, they were talking about they were the only team that weren't favored in any game this season. And Washington had they were the biggest favorite over them. They didn't look terrible. They made some stupid fucking penalties though. They kind of fucked themselves. They really could have won that game because Washington also was fucking themselves. So he's got the Cardinals winning at home against the Giants. San Francisco on the road against the Rams. He's got Washington on the road against Denver. I appreciate that. The Patriots at home against Miami. See, but it's a Sunday night game. So, yeah, you never know with that one. Let's see. Tampa Bay at home over Chicago. Green Bay on the road against Atlanta. He's got Green Bay. He's got Buffalo at home against the Raiders. He's got the Lions at home against the Seahawks. He's got the Eagles at home against Minnesota. He's got the Chargers on the road against Tennessee. He's got wait, hold on. Let me make sure that he said this. The Jaguars over the Chiefs is his pick of the week. Jaguars are at home. Chiefs, that would be something if they they come out, they lose to Detroit week 1. Obviously they were missing some pieces. Lose to Detroit and then lose another one on the road against Jacksonville. Starting 0-2. It's possible. I mean, Jacksonville's nothing to sneeze at either, though, because Lawrence looks good. They actually have a coach. They're in year 2 with the coach. I mean, I don't know. It's possible. All right, let me run through my picks because I haven't looked at this other than just reading those off quickly. Thursday night, Minnesota at Philly. I'll go with Philly. Sunday is Green Bay at Atlanta. Did he send me that one? And I missed it? No, I did say that. I'm sorry. Green Bay on the road at Atlanta. Green Bay. Green Bay. Raiders on the road at Buffalo. I'm going to go with Buffalo. Baltimore at Cincinnati. Ooh. See, the way Cincy played this week, they could start 0-2. I might go Baltimore on the road against Cincinnati. Seattle at Detroit. I'd say Detroit should win that one. They're coming off a big win unless they have a little bit of a hangover there. The Chargers at Tennessee. I'll go with the Chargers on the road. Chicago at Tampa. I'll go with Tampa at home. Kansas City at Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Kansas City, though. I think because Kelsey might play. I think they bounce back. Jacksonville, it could go either way, but I'll go with Kansas City on the road there. Colts at the Texans. I'll go with the Colts. San Francisco on the road against the Rams. I'll go with San Francisco. Giants at Arizona. I'll go with... I don't know. I mean, the Giants just looked so fucking bad yesterday. And Arizona, again, their defense is something, but they just had stupid fucking penalties. I'll say Arizona at home. The Jets at Dallas. Well, let's see where we are in this game. Rodgers still hasn't come back, so I hate to fucking say it, but Dallas at home. Washington at Denver. My bias pick of the week, which is going to be every fucking week. I will say Washington at Denver. Washington on the road takes the win. Miami at New England and the Sunday night game. Now I think that's what's fucking me up here because it's early in the season where Miami's coming up to New England, so it's not, you don't really have the weather aspect here. if they were playing in New England and it was November, December, I might change that a little bit. But the problem is because it's at night in New England, and I feel like when the pressure's on, New England pulls it out. But Miami did look fucking good yesterday. I'll go Miami. Fuck it. Miami on the road. Saints at Carolina. I'll go with the Saints. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Monday night though. No, at Pittsburgh. See, I think that's a tough game. Even though Pittsburgh looked like shit too yesterday. I think because it's at Pittsburgh on a Monday night, that's going to be a tough one. I'll go Pittsburgh on that one. Fuck it. So anyway, those are our picks. I have to watch this back to remember what I actually did fucking pick so we can review. We'll review the week that was. Next week, we'll look at our picks, see where we're at, kind of keep like a tally going of where we're at. We didn't pick week 1, obviously, because we didn't do this last week. And then it just worked out that he's on the road this week. We were going to do it virtual. His flight got delayed by like 4 hours, but I was going to have everything ready. I think he just got to his hotel, so we really couldn't do this. So I'm doing this on the fly. So if this is like shaky, I totally understand. Obviously, I got the Hate That For Me thing going. I didn't get anything set up here yet. But also go check out Hate That For Me. That's my other podcast with Shut Up Camilla. Let's see. Let me try to get you an update on Mr. Rodgers' Neighborhood, even though obviously this is coming out tomorrow. So you would have already seen this. But as of now, Buffalo's up 10-3. Like, what do you think? I think that if Rodgers is hurt and out for a while, that changes everything for the Jets this year. I mean, maybe that's an obvious fucking statement. Let's see this pass. Oh, God. Zach Wilson throws it right to the linebacker. Horrible fucking throw. Yeah, I mean, that's probably an obvious statement, but they've added pieces. They have a good defense. I think Rodgers he's the make or break for the Jets. So, I mean, if he's out for multiple weeks in that division too, the way Miami looked and New England looked competitive. They went down 16-0 so early that you didn't really get that chance. But I mean, the Jets, unfortunately, could be the odd team out, depending on how this injury goes. But anyway, so like, comment, share, subscribe. We are going to do this every Monday. I'm going to put these out on this channel every Tuesday. So sharing is caring. Share it, like it, subscribe. And until next week, Mo and Joe Show, out.